So now let's take that complicated idea and again connect it to inequalities, because we've already become comfortable with inequalities as well along with modulus. So we have to work this out, and again I'm going to use a little bit of symbolic play or shortcut or just a replacement technique to make my life easy. I don't want to deal with this cumbersome expression. I want to deal with things that I know are very comfortable. So instead of all of this, I will just write a mod of p. What is p is equal to the whole story, whatever is inside the mod, p is equal to that. And then I say, okay, this is less than equal to 5. I know how to solve this very quickly. P is greater than equal to minus 5 and less than equal to 5. And again, I am very familiar with the next step. The whatever replacement I have done, I will re-replace it, right? I said this whole thing is equal to P so that I could quickly think about this, and now instead of P, I will write the whole thing. So I will say, okay, minus 5, something is P. What is the thing? Mod of x minus 3 minus 2 mod of end and a minus 1, right? Anything between these two final mod bars. And then this is less than equal to 5. And again, I can play with this. Let me get rid of this minus. This is minus 1. So I add a plus 1 in the story. This minus 1 goes away. I add a plus 1 on this side. This becomes 6. I add a plus 1 on this side. This becomes a minus 4. So now again I have two separate challenges. This side of the story and this side of the story. Let me first figure out this side of the story, because again I'm very fast with the less than equal to symbol. So let's work with that. Let's think of this part of the story, and again, or let me rewrite it, mod of x minus 3 minus 2 less than equal to 6. And again, instead of this complicated mod, I want to simplify my story, so I will say q minus 2 is less than equal to 6. Think quickly on the number line. Your origin is 2. The distance has to be within 6 units. So 6 units on the right side will give you 8. 6 units on the left side will give you a minus 4. That means q is greater than equal to minus 4 and it is less than equal to 8. And now remember what q was. What was q? Q was mod of x minus 3. So you will have to take a couple of steps extra. Now you have this story. Again, forget one part of the story. Focus on this part. Mod of x minus 3 is less than equal to 8. The distance of x from 3 is less than or equal to 8 units. Again, quickly think of your number line. Distance from 3 is 8 units. That means you can go up to 11 in this direction, and you can go up to minus 5 in this direction. So finally the range that I am getting for x is greater than equal to minus 5 and less than equal to 11. Now quickly, because I have done so much work, let me see whether my process so far is correct or not. Let me pick up, let's say 0, any value between these 2 points, right? So if I put a 0, 0 minus 3 will give me a minus 3, that will become a 3, 3 minus 2 will be a 1, 1 minus 1 will be a 0, 0 is less than equal to 5, so 0 is working for me. Let me try the other extreme. 11, 11 minus 3 is 8, 8 minus 2 is 6, 6 minus 1 will be 5, everything is positive, so everything just comes out like a normal equation. So equal to 5 allowed, so even this is working for me. What about the extreme negative, minus 5? If I put a minus 5 here, minus 5 minus 3 gives me a minus 8, but which will become a plus 8. Plus 8 minus 2 will give me a 6, 6 minus 1 will give me a 5, so even this is working for me. So great, I've made great progress. I have only followed one part of the story, only the right side of the story. Even in that right side of the story, only one part of the story, because this story is yet to be analyzed, right? So capture this information somewhere, that x can be greater than equal to minus 5 and less than equal to 11. This I have already tested here that it works here. To even better understand the process, try and put a 15 here just to see what happens beyond the ranges, right? Put a 15 here. 15 minus 3 will give you a 12. 12 minus 2 will give you a 10, and a 10 minus 1 will give you a 9. It is not less than equal to 5. So I see yes. And I also understand, okay, the 11 is putting a boundary on this story, right? So I figured out part of the story. So this part of the story I have figured out. So let me get rid of this. I have already captured it. Let me go step by step backwards. mod of x minus 3 is greater than equal to minus 4. Let me rewrite this for the beginner's convenience and even my own. Mod of x minus 3 greater than equal to minus 4. And again, before I start solving it and thinking about the story, the distance of x from 3, I know mod of x will always be a positive number, or the minimum value it can go up to is 0. If I put a 3 here, it will become a 0, or it will always be positive. That's what we generally know the modulus function for, right? Any positive number or even 0 is always going to be greater than minus 4. So for this condition, for this part of the story, any value of x works, right? So I will completely ignore it because I already have a range, and I also know any value of x does not work for the original story. So any value of x works for this story. So this is not giving me any new information about my range. So far I have a steady solid range working here. Now going backwards still, this is the part of the story that we have figured out. It had two trees branches itself, but we solved it, figured it out. So I will now ignore this part of the story and focus on this. Again, let me make it easier. This is greater than equal to minus 4. And once again, think about this, greater than minus 4, second time an ID appears, it should be easier to spot, right? Greater than equal to minus 4, a mod of something can minimum go up to 0, and otherwise it will always be positive. So is a 0 greater than minus 4 anyway all the time? And the answer will be yes. That means this other side of the story also wasn't too much work. So don't think about the process, do the process. And anyway, this question is longer and maybe taking some time, but it's a good challenge because, and maybe try it again after half an hour by yourself. Just run through the process tuck and get used to doing that, right? Shortcuts are great, visualizations are great, but can I solve a basic school, this is still a school level equation only with a couple of challenges thrown.